being able to take out his whole force, Fire has now almost drew level with Nand on score. Fire could bring this back for them, considering that Nand and Russo were put so far behind at the start of the game, especially Russo with all the harassment that was coming into his base. Fire did have a nice little advantage and a time where he could really do a lot of damage to Russo. Coming in now with more knights, and he's really just trying to do as much damage as he can wherever he can. And surprisingly, it's over 9,000, still producing units. Archers, though, not so effective against knights, and they are all going to die, unfortunately for him. In fact, no, he managed to take out one knight. Well done him. Tried to rebuild down here, though, and he might just be successful for the time being if Fire can protect him for long enough with these knights here. Russo's still not too much of a threat, though, as he's only just gone up to the castle age, and really his economy is still lacking. Building a town centre here and here, as well as up here, so Russo really trying to get his economy back on its feet now, and if he can successfully get this town centre up quickly, then he'll be able to pick off some of these villagers here, which would be bad news for It's Over 9,000. It's Over 9,000, of course, now lagging behind Russo due to that massive harassment coming in from Nand. Nand with the camels once again, seeing what he can do, but that is a lot of knights, and that's not many camels. Looks like those knights would be able to take out the camels, and of course, with the camels being the anti-cavalry unit, they are effective against knights, but not so much when you have that many knights bearing down on you. Of course, camels with no armour whatsoever at the moment. It doesn't look like Nand has actually upgraded them at the blacksmith at all. That could be costly to him. If he were to get the chain barding armour, I think it is for the horse units, then he would do a lot better at taking out Fire's knights. However, Fire has upgraded his knights, and if he can take out these camels here, then he's probably going to overtake Nand in score. Nand finally getting up some more town centres and a market there as well, and starting to boom his economy. Russo being able to take out a few villagers down here. In fact, it's over 9,000 with very few villagers left. Mod of Fire, however, with their mangonel there trying to take out this town centre, and Russo's going to have to deal with that fairly quickly, otherwise he's going to lose that town centre, and that's a lot of resources wasted. Fire, on the other hand, up here, managing to take out all of Nand's army once again, and Nand forced to rebuild. Fire and Nand are very close in score, though, and Fire, although he has a smaller economy, he has a lot of units out on the field, and if he's quick enough now, he'll be able to push Nand back, and hopefully give his teammate time to rebuild his economy. Heading right into where Nand is producing units, and Nand has set his gather point right the way up here, so he's going to bypass these knights as soon as they are created, if they aren't intercepted fast enough. Nand, though, with a very, very nice economy now. He's producing villagers at a nice rate, and he has a lot of villagers collecting gold and a lot of villagers collecting food, which means he's able to get out camels, knights extremely quickly. He's got no issues with queuing them up there. However, it would be better if he did break out one of these villagers and build a couple more stables here. That would be more effective for him. He's not doing that though, and Fire is able to get out more knights as well. Still, all the players in the castle age, apart from It's Over 9,000, who is now far, far behind, trying to rebuild his economy where he can, and he currently has no gold income whatsoever, which is bad news for him, as he needs 200 gold and 800 food to get up to the castle age. But at the moment, I think that's the least of his worries. He really needs to just get his economy back on its feet, but I can't see how he's going to do that very effectively for the time being. He needs some more gold and some more food to get up to the castle age and build some more town centres. Down here we've got Russo converting some of his, well, what's left of It's Over 9,000 villagers. Update on this town centre, it looks like it's not been taken out, and Russo with some eagle warriors down here to take out the remaining villagers of Fire in his base. Trying to clean up now as well, taking out what he can. Fire very nicely walling Nand into his base. If Nand gets cooped up in there and is unable to get out, then that means that Fire will be able to try and get some map domination and try and take over the map where he can. Looks like he has lost all of his knights to Nand, however. Nand getting out plenty of camels and trying to do as much damage as he can. So where are the teams going from here? Modfire advancing to the Imperial Age very nicely, and Nand is advancing to the Imperial Age as well, almost neck and neck for these two players. Nand, with the slight score lead, could once again be due to his better economy. He has colonised a lot of the map, but Fire has still got a nice amount of map control. Of course, map control is a great thing to have. It means that if you have manoeuvrable units, you're able to get them around the map extremely quickly with little to worry you and little to stop you, to say the least. Fire with a good number of knights. Let's see how many he's actually got. He's got 3, 6, 9, 10 knights there and 9 knights there. He's got 19 knights on the field, and that's enough to stop the force of Nand's camels if he can group them together and take them out where he can. Nand now being cooped up in his base. Well, I don't think he's really got such a problem with that. I mean, really, all of his military buildings are over here. Fire would have been better off walling this in, so that Nand couldn't get out at all. Finally heading up to the Imperial Age, though, and let's see now what the players can do. Fire walling a Russo in once again. Well, walling a Russo in. If Russo gets walled in his base, then he's less of a threat, of course. It's over 9,000, now losing all of his villagers down here, successfully converted by Russo. And Russo really just trying to get his economy still going. He's still not managed to get it up properly, but he's getting there finally. And if he can do that, then he'll be able to produce some units and start to do some damage to Fire. It's over 9,000 in a bad way right now. He's very low on resource, and he is, well, pretty much very low on everything. Fortunately for him, he's not being harassed too much, which is good news. But Fire is having to deal with a lot of pressure from Nand. It's over 9,000, finally going up to the Castle Age, which means he'll be able to get a couple more town centres out and try and catch up with the rest of them. If Fire can hold it for the time being, then It's Over 9,000 will be able to get back in the game. But let's see how it goes, because Russo, remember, is in the Castle Age already, which means that he's got an advantage, and once again, another advancement to the Imperial Age. So really, It's Over 9,000 is down and out right now. Let's see what Fire can do, because if Fire can actually get this back, then he could have give his teammate time to react and do what he can. Fire now in the Imperial Age and researching Cavalier. Good move to make. Nand, on the other hand, is not researching much by the looks of it. Oh, he's researching Heavy Camel, and that's going to give Nand the advantage. Heavy Camel versus Cavalier. Heavy Camel wins all the time. However, Fire has got the arbalests out. He'll be able to do some long-ranged harassment with that. Looks like he's heading over to Russo to try and do what damage he can. Nand with a castle and another castle actually going up there, researching Conscription. That's going to allow him to get out units a lot faster than Fire, which is good news for him as well. As well as the elite Mangudai. Mangudais are extremely effective against siege weapons. Not that Fire is producing any siege weapons at the moment, but we'll have to see if he actually does that. Fire trying to branch out of his base and take over as much map as he possibly can. Heavy Camels now coming in for It's Over 9,000. If he doesn't garrison fast enough, he's going to lose some villagers. And he's definitely not being fast enough there. That's a bit of a shame. He's lost 3 or 4 villagers there to those Heavy Camels, who make a swift retreat. Now it does look fully in favour of Nand and Russo. They're both now in the Imperial Age, and they look to be set for a victory. And I hope you've enjoyed this game, everyone, because I certainly enjoyed watching the start with all the harassment from the missionaries. It's a bit different to what I usually bring you. It's all just a bit of fun. If Fire can hold this, however, he will be in a better situation, but really, It's Over 9,000 is unable to contribute at all now. He's only on 2 town centres, and he's got about, let's actually find out, he's got 28 villagers, which is absolutely nothing to the huge populations of 163 and 166 for Fire and Nand. Fire going to lose a lot of cavaliers there to those Heavy Camels. Heavy camels are cheaper to produce, so pound for pound they are more effective against cavaliers than you would think. Elite Mangudais probably more effective than arbalests. They have a higher attack and a higher armor and or smaller range, but they do have a higher attack and armor, which means that they are able to take out the arbalests without too much trouble, and they are also more maneuverable. Nand now with a almost 1,000 score lead over everyone else, and Russo really getting back in the game. He's finally able to get out units, creating quite a few Eagle Warriors there. Are they elite Eagle Warriors? Yes they are. So he's going to be able to take out pretty much the whole of Mod Fire's units if he really wants to. Unfortunately, Fire is going for Hussars, and I'm not sure why he's doing that. He's seen how many camels Nand is producing. Nand with the heavy camels, he was able to take out Cavaliers quite easily. He'll be able to take out Hussars even easier. Let's see what he does here. Trying to take out these Arbalests. Should be quite successful in doing that, although he's losing camels fairly quickly there. It really does look in favour of Nand and Russo now, and I did enjoy that game. The missionary harassment at the start was just brilliant, and Russo was really down and out. If it wasn't for Nand playing so well at the back of It's Over 9000's base, it really would have been a game over for Russo and Nand. However, Nand was able to keep his teammates alive and do enough damage to It's Over 9000 to put him way behind Russo. Modfire and It's Over 9000 now giving up. They know they can't hold it. It's practically 2v1, two Imperial players against a Castle Age player with no economy, and Modfire who was Imperial but really lagging behind. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that game. I've been ZeroEmpires, and I'll see you next time.